Good morning, good morning, good morning. Kalimera everyone. Kalimera Yanni.
Good morning, good morning.
Good
Kalimera.
good morning, good morning. Kalimera everyone. Kalimera, Kalimera. Welcome to another Bitcoin market update. Today it's Monday, so new day, new week, and also
New
new
week,
month.
a new page.
A new page. A new canvas. So let's
A
draw.
new canvas, yeah.
2nd of June. Officially for us, for the upper hemisphere, we are officially in the summer season. Time for us to head down to the seaside, get a tan.
You're doing sun therapy.
Some therapy. I'll do all therapy, not some therapy. Right, let's bring the vibes. The summer vibes. Ready for us to go down to the seaside, have fun, relax. Meanwhile, let's have a look on the on the chart. What's going on? So, ladies and gentlemen, let me zoom in and have a look. What happened to the markets? Yana. Let's have a look, closer look. Right, we did say last week that it's the end of the month, it's closing of the month, everyone will dump. Okay, not intentionally, but with no other options, so to say, right? They have to close the contracts, they have to close the options, so they have to close the positions. And by closing the positions, that will force the price to go lower. So towards the end of May, we did say that 28, 29, be careful in the last 2 days of the month, that will start seeing a retracement. And this is what happened. Okay, Bitcoin came down and retraced all the way down to 103.5. Okay, so if I zoom out a little bit, so for us to have a look on the left, you can see that we came back to the same range. Okay, however, okay, after the 1st of June, on the weekend, you can see that it hold the 50% of the range. Okay, it hold that 50% of the range. It bounced from the top of the range, came back, retested 50% of the range, and it broke out of the range. And right now, we are in that position that we need to be a little bit cautious, and we can see that the price likes and wants to stay out of the range. If I zoom in here a little bit, we can see that it found a support on the range. Okay, so that's good. Support, resistance, higher support. It broke through the resistance. Now we have a higher support. Okay, so that is your low. This is your first higher low, and here we would like to believe that it's going to be our second higher low. When you get a second higher low, it's a little bit, let's say, a sign for us to get a position. Okay, usually we call it a cheeky entry. Okay, because you're trying to enter on the second higher low, which is not confirmed yet. When this low is going to be confirmed as a higher low, that is going to be only when and if the price action is going to break the previous high. Okay, so when the price is going to be above this G level, okay, because we know that the price rejected on the G level. Okay, so when price is going to go above this G level, aka breaking structure, okay, so it broke the previous high, then you can come back and classify this as a low, a higher low. Okay, so we can put here HL, okay, and that is going to be number 2, because here is your higher low number 1, okay, and this one is technically your low, or you can put it a swing low. Okay, so that was your swing, and this is a possible reversal. Okay, remember the 4 points you need on a downtrend. Okay, you need to have 2 higher highs and 2 higher lows. So this is your high, right? This is your higher high 1. Okay, and later on you're gonna get your high 2. So when you get these 2 guys, it's the 4-point system, which means it is confirmed. Okay, the reversal. So far, we have only one high. Okay, this is equal high to the previous areas. So I see this as a equal high, and I'm going to name it just simple high, no high. So this is a high low compared to this one. It's going higher, so this is my high, number one. Okay, now it's coming down, and possible here it's going to form, we're not sure yet, but here it looks like it's going to form the higher low, right? And after that, it's going to break the previous high, and then it's going to create in some point the higher high too. Okay, and then it's going to come back and continue, and that is going to be the confirmation of the reversals. Okay, so it's looking good. This is going to be a little bit of tricky entry. It's Monday, it's the beginning of the week, also the beginning of the month. We are officially inside June. June is going to be the last month of the first 6 months of the year, right? Remember that we need to be a little bit cautious on the second semester, right? So the first semester, the first 6 months is almost due, right? And now from July, we need to be a little bit cautious on the second semester because this is where things are going to happen, okay? Like towards the end of the bull cycle. But I don't want to front run, okay? I would like to go step by step, level by level, and get, my grounds from this area here, okay? So this is a good cheeky entry, and anything above the G level is going to be a more solid entry because possibly you're going to find a support above the G level, okay? That's what we want. We want to find support, prove to us that is a support and move to further up. That is going to be a nice solid entry. Here it's going to be a little bit of tricky entry with other factors, that it came down to the 50% of the range and broke out of the range, and this range now acting like a support. Okay, so you are bouncing from the top of the range, which is kind of a good condition. Okay, and let's hope that the rest of the week, price is going to move and trying to target new all-time highs, right? It's going to break these highs. Let's hope that we're going to break 112 and target 115. Okay, so that is the plan. With the G levels, the CIA approach, the strategy, the conditions, okay, level by level. Now, we can go to the Monday range technique, okay. This one now we need to remove the Monday range because that is from the previous week, so it's gone. The weekly range has to be reformed, it's gone. And also, I'm going to remove the daily open. And also I need to remove the monthly, right? Because today is June, so bye-bye. So speaking of monthly, let's move to the monthly time frame. Okay. Now, this is the current month. Okay, we're going to ignore this and we're going to mark May. Okay. Now, May is over, so now this candle, let's say, is confirmed, right? It's finalized. So let's mark the high and the bottom, and let's call it a monthly range. There it is, our new previous month low. I'm going to expand it a little bit so you can see the lines. Here they are. Okay, now go back to weekly so we can mark the previous week. This is the current week, the first week. Now we need to mark the previous week. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use our Fibonacci level with the templates. And this time I'm going to use a template, the weekly range. Here's the weekly range, weekly high, weekly mid, weekly low. I'm going to expand that a little bit to the right. There it is, so we can see what's going on. That's it for the time being. Let me go back to the 12 hours. Let me see if the lines are making sense. Let me expand a little bit the 12 months. That is the previous year. 6 months as well. Let me expand the 6 months a little bit. Let's give it more room for the yearly. So I'm going to push that a little bit further out. I'm going to push the 6 months to be aligned with the rest of the levels. Now the 3 month is gonna be marked as a quarter, right? So we need to finalize June for us to mark the new quarter. So that is the previous quarter. Still here, in this region, monthly is here, and all we have to do now, just bring it a little bit more close together so we can see all them matching and all nice together. Now the only thing that I need to mark is Monday. So which Monday? This is Saturday, this is Sunday, this is Sunday, this is Monday, and I'm gonna go for the top of the body because it's a bearish. So Monday, let me go to 45 minutes or even to 1 hour to just make sure that I mark the 3 o'clock candle. Yes, it is a 3 o'clock candle. There it is. It is a bearish. So the price went under the Monday open. Okay, and now it's trying to turn around. And let's hope that this price action now is going to target the Monday open and, break it and stay above. Let's see. Okay. You can see that Asia pushed all the market higher to take out all the liquidity. All this high liquidity or the weekend liquidity is all gone. Okay, so any liquidity that's been sitting here is been taken out. So weekend liquidity has been taken out. It came down, and now they're going to push the price further up. Let's see towards the closing. Right, they dumped it. They push the drive, they push they drive the market a little bit higher to take liquidity. They took profits, came down, and now they're pushing once again. So that is the Monday range technique. We need to come back tomorrow on Tuesday for us to form the Monday range. Okay, so here's going to be your Monday. So far, this is your Monday. Your Monday high, okay, is going to be that week of the same candle. That is going to be your Monday high for the time being, and that is your Monday low. Okay, but it's not confirmed, it's not yet done. This is so far what we got. Okay, 10 hours after the opening, this is what we have. Okay, so we've got another 13 hours for us to finalize that. Okay, right. I don't mind leaving these lines here. It's okay for us to monitor later today. Right, let's have a look at a little bit on the bigger picture. Good news. Let me start with the good news. Good news, 30 days. Now that time frame, that stochastic RSI, you can see that it's confirmed. Okay, this is the new, let me put a lot of dots. So this is the new points that we have, monthly points. The previous points were at least 2. Okay, now these 2 guys cannot, let me get the marker. These 2 guys cannot change. Okay, these 2 guys here cannot change. Okay, this is finalized. These ones now, these 2 dots, they have another 30 days to move up and down. Okay, but the cross is confirmed. So on the monthly time frame, okay, on the 30 days, we got a confirmed cross up on the 30 days, and you can see already that the fast line is moving like on the 48. Okay, look at how fast it went, separating from the slow line. Okay, so that is indicating momentum. Okay, so 30 days is looking very bullish. Okay, 15 days, you can see that the fast line passed through the 50. It's 53 today. Okay, slow line is way below, way behind, so to say, trying to catch up. Okay, and let's go a little bit to the bad news here, that we have a confirmed cross down on the weekly, okay, which is our fastest stochastic RSI for this long-term setup, okay, or long-term layout. This is a layout that we have for the long term. The other good news that I can give you for the time being is, yes, we got rejected on 109. However, we did not close below that golden range. Remember that the range that we marked on the previous week, and we spoke that, let's see if Bitcoin is going to come back to that range. Ideally, we don't want to see Bitcoin close or open inside that range. And so far, okay, still Monday today. So far, we have the price action bouncing off from that range, long-term range. Okay, let me maximize that so you can see that yes, the price went a little bit lower. You can see the wicks here, but it reclaimed and closed above, and the new candle opened above. Okay, so far so good. We got a little of a small gap going on here on the bigger time frame. Look at this. This is the closing, and this is the opening. Right, so if I zoom in a little bit, there is a small gap here. Okay, let me mark this maybe with imbalance. Can you see these? All right, so I believe, okay, because between open and close, okay, they're not overlapping. I believe that the prices already moved higher to cover this, but I think this is going to close above today, okay, to close the gap. This is still ongoing, so don't worry about it. This is a weekly time frame. Okay, it's got plenty of time until next Sunday to fill this gap. Okay, so far good news is that we stay above the long-term range, the golden line. Okay, these golden lines represent a range. So we are above the range. So we're bouncing off the range, which is very, very good and bullish. Now the weekly, okay, stochastic RSI needs to reset a little bit. Now, what do you expect from the weekly stochastic RSI? All scenarios are on the table, which means you can see something like this. Another scenario is to go down to 50% and then bounce, and then another scenario is to go all the way down to 0, right? All scenarios are still in the game, okay, on the table. What we have to do, okay, we need to watch out what price action is going to do. If price action is going to push further up, and then the 7 days is going to give you still a continuation to the downside, then we are driving on a weekly bearish divergence, okay, which means there is a possibility, right, but the price is going to shoot up above 109, maybe 115, and then it's going to come back again a little bit drastic. And I can see that play out. Okay, I can see it play out. Why? Let me go back to our normal day-to-day chart. What do we know that is going to happen 115, 116? Do you remember? This is the 50% of the range. Okay, it's a significant level. Okay, it's the 50% between two key levels. So we know that we're going to get rejected big time. Okay, it's going to have a hard time, so to say, to pass through. Okay, this is what we believe. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen 100%. Okay, but there's a big chance that it's going to get rejected on 115. Okay, it always rejects on the key levels, always rejects on the G levels, all the G levels. The 50 ones are so significant as the key levels. Okay, if you see a big rejection here on the key level, you see the same thing on the 50. Okay, there are rare occasions that it goes through, okay, in one go, but it comes down through. Okay, it gets rejected later. It doesn't get rejected, let's say, on the spot below the level. It goes through a little bit, it gets, like a fake out, overshooting, and then it's coming down. Never mind, we're going to see what's going to happen. But also, we've seen the heat maps, right, last week, and we know that there's a lot of heat going on between 113 and 116. So again, 115 is going to act what? As a rejection point, okay, resistance. So there is a big possibility, because of the lots of heat map going on there. Okay, so there is a big possibility, a good possibility, that the price is going to come up, and when and if it's going to reach in these regions, okay, because of the massive heat that we have in these regions, a lot of people will start shorting, and then we can see a little bit aggressive coming down, right? Maybe retesting 109, because this is resistance. Okay, we need to test this as a support. We need to flip 109. Okay, so I'm not trying to forecast, I'm not trying to predict, okay, but it makes sense to me as a chain of actions or reactions, if you want, according to what we get from the data. Okay, So on the bigger time frame, that is going to be the ideal scenario, that you can see the price action moving up to 115. The indicator will still go down, and then massive sell-off, not because of the indicator, because of the heat map, all right? And the psychology that they're going to take out all this liquidity, and then it's going to come back to 109. But that time, maybe stochastic average size is going to reset. Where is going to reset? 50% or 0? We don't know. We're going to wait and see. Okay? But this is kind of a thought, the process of my thoughts, that what may happen, what I will expect through the data that I get. Okay, I'm not trying to predict out of a feeling. Oh, I've got a feeling today that we're gonna go to 115. No, it's not about feeling. It's what I get from the charts. Okay.
Trust your guts.
Yeah. Forget your guts. You know, you need guts to do something else. Right. Action. Then you're gonna do your analysis, and then after the analysis, if the analysis of feedback that's coming back that you need to adjust, and then you need to adjust. Okay, but remember the direction of the process. Okay, first you act, then you analyze. A lot of people, including myself, we used to do it the other way around. We analyze, okay, trying to adjust, and then trying to act. And you're trying to adjust on a hypothetical feedback, okay? Because you're trying to make everything on paper or in the mind, you want to make everything to be perfect, okay? Before you apply it. Well, most of the times you get discouraged because you don't see any reactions, you don't see real results. You get not a fake results, but you get, let's say, emulated results, and you believe the emulated results without having something on a hand. So a lot of people back off from the original plan. So if you change the order, act first, and then analyze on the go and see if your actions need adjustment, and see your feedback. You know, is that the feedback that you were expecting? No. Okay, you need to change something, but keep going. All right? You need to start. This is what I said yesterday to my son as well. And it was a different concept, but you know, I was trying to give him an example of simple things for him to realize that is the rule for his life. I said, if you want to finish something, and that was his homework. Well, it wasn't homework, but it was like for him to do a revision for his English, because he's gonna, towards the end of the month, he's gonna do some exams. So he was doing a little bit of revision, study a little bit. I said, hey, if you want to finish something, you need to start it. And he was looking at me. I said, what do you mean? Well, if you want to finish something, you have to start it. If you don't start it, it will never finish. It's so simple. If you want to finish something, you get out of the way. You know, a lot of people, you know, on the weekends, you know, kids that don't like to study on the weekends, right? Who wants to study on the Sunday? So, you know, I said to him, you know, if you want that weight on your shoulders, like, oh, I have to study now. You want to get out of it, you know, get it off your chest. You need to start deal with it. You know, start the process, and it will go away. If you don't start, it's going to be always there waiting for you, and your mind is not going to be relaxed, because you know you have an obligation that you have to do it. Okay, I don't need to say to you that you have to do it. Your brain knows that you have to do it. Okay, so your heart is going to be always, I've got something left behind. I've got something left behind. And then automatically then your brain's going to say, oh shit, I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. All right. So you're creating stress and anxiety to yourself for no reason. Okay. Just ignore the overthinking process. Okay. Ignore the analyzing thing. Start doing it. All right. To get out of the way. That's the simple thing I can, explain to my kids. So let's have a look on the CME gaps. Another beautiful view. So let me get off the wicks. Let's get rid of the wicks. Here we are. No gaps on the current process, right? On the current candles here, on the current, let's say, trend. Okay, there is no gaps. This is really looking very good. There is a gap way lower than us. So that is going to be 101.780. Is it going to go all the way down there? I am not sure. Okay, I cannot guarantee you that. But you can see that the opening is way above the closing. It's overlapping, so there's no gap here. All good, all good. Okay, let's see. Maybe, okay, maybe there's a possibility it's gonna come down to clear the gap, but I think it's gonna turn around. I think it's gonna leave that gap for later. But once again, I'm not trying to predict or forecast. Let things take their own turn. Right, let's have a look a little bit on Ethereum. Ethereum, we marked this resistance a long time ago. It's nothing new, right? That was a huge order block to the downside. That was a bearish action, a big momentum, and you can see that it went a long way down. So obviously, once you touch that, it's going to influence, not as bad as the first time, but you know that you're going to get some momentum, you're going to get kicked, right? You see here, very, very slow, pushed it down. That was a little bit dramatic here. It's a drama queen, but it did not go that far away. But this one, look at that. It went through 1, 2, 3 levels, right? So you can see here that it's creating a range, okay? And that is looking promising. Again, 2,500 once again is acting as a support. Ethereum doesn't want to go lower, which is very good, very bullish. I mean, let me go to 12 hours. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. It's really, really resisting 2,500. Okay, so let's hope today that it's going to bounce off and reclaim again, once again, that it did in the past, 2,625, and break through 2,800. Okay, so I can take out the resistance. I don't want to have too many things on the chart. I want to have nice and clean. You can see here that we got 1 rejection, 2nd rejection, 3 rejections. A lot of people will say, oh, this is a triple top. Okay, other people will see, oh, this is a shoulder, a head and shoulder. Well, technically no. I'll tell you why. Because you need a head to be higher than the shoulders. Here are all equal. Okay.
Actually, that's triple top.
Yeah, it's a triple top. Okay. But I can see here also that the 2,500 is trying to say a different story, that I'm holding here, okay? And I don't want to see Ethereum dropping lower than 2,500, okay? So let's hope that it's going to stay here. Otherwise, if it's going to lose 2,500, you know where are the next resistances. The next one is going to be 2,375. Okay, there's liquidity here, there's imbalance down here, so there is a possibility that it's going to come back maybe close to 2,000. Okay, if it's going to lose 2,500. Okay, this is on the 12 hours. Go back to 3 hours and you can see that it's ranging. Okay, we are in the range of these levels here. So let me mark the range. That's the bottom, that's the top. There it is. So let me do this in the range. Go down to 15, and here we are. Okay, so we just under 2,500 on the smaller time frame. Let's see if we're going to reclaim. Okay, let's see if today, if Bitcoin is going to move to the upside. Let's see if ETH is going to reclaim 2,000 and go higher. Okay, it's Monday today. Be positive, right? Yes, it is under correction, right? Pausing, accumulation, which is my theory is that accumulation, right? Sideways action is still part of the previous action. Okay, I need to see something. 2 things can happen from here. Okay, either it's going to move to the upside, which is a reversal, or I'm going to see a continuation. 2 things. Okay, when price is going sideways, it means pause, no movement. Okay, but because it's idle, the algos and the bots, they're going to move a little bit the price up and down and creating waves. Okay, but technically you're stuck in one level. Okay, so let's hope that ETH has finished the correction, right? And we're going to see a reversal. Right, so let's see today, towards the end of Asia, we can see that 10 o'clock now, EU is here. So let's have a look and see if is it's going to stay above the 2,500, already breaking now. So fingers crossed. Let's see the remaining of the day. Right, ETH and Bitcoin. The last chart before I give the screen to John. So John is preparing the charts for you. I can hear his mouse clicking left, right, center. So he's getting prepared. Right. So click everywhere. Right, Ethereum, Bitcoin. You can see a little bit that we broke the resistance and also we broke the trend. Okay, that is a sign of a little bit of a weakness. It's a sign that Bitcoin again it becomes stronger, all right, and it's trying to dominate. And that's why this chart is bringing to the downside. This is why, you know, it happens because Bitcoin it moves better and faster than Ethereum. Okay, so you have BTC probably moving more aggressively than Ethereum. Okay, so when that happens, it means it's going to give you a downtrend. Okay, so again, now Bitcoin kind of leading the process. Okay, so that's it for the majors for the time being for myself. Okay, I'm going to come back always. I'm going to come back. Okay, you can see a lovely move to the upside. It looks like it's rejecting the top of the range. I hope last week you got the hint on Friday and Thursday that we said that the price is going to go down. Markets are closing, options are closing, contracts are closing, things will go down. I hope you took the opportunity to go down. How much did it go down? Not a big deal, about 5%. On the alts, you got some of them give you 15%, others gave you 20%. So that was a good opportunity for you to short. Now it's a new month, it's a beginning. Everyone will start opening new contracts, new trades for the month. So you can see a price pushing to the upside. We just need to be careful a little bit around 115. Okay, so that's it for me for now. I'll be shortly coming back with the alts, and I'll give you our major XRP major, John.
XRP major.
Right, here we go.
Hello from me too. That was wonderful. All the charting and no, I mean it's wonderful. Your charting about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of that. Now, what do we have from XRP? XRP, as we said before, was on a range over here. I have deleted that range, but let me bring it back. As we see, lost that range, went to 50%, find the resistance, and then went straight down to took the imbalance that we have marked over here. As you see, as you see, that's why I'm marking always the imbalances, because what do I say? I always wait for the price to close those gaps over here. As we see, now went straight down, took that imbalance. That is balance that right now it's officially closed. Let me delete that one. I will keep my range over here on the 50% of the G levels. I have marked over here the liquidity. I keep those levels also, as you see. Just make a touch and go, we can say, over here on the liquidity, and went straight back to the upside. Right now, what exactly is doing? We can say has created a triangle over here. I'm on a 4-hour time frame right now. We see a triangle over here that is compressing. The price right now is compressing over here, and we just have to wait in which direction will break. Sorry about that. Where is it? Come on, bear with me. So if we see a break to the upside and make this line over here as a support, and then we'll see XRP to go back again for that range that is sitting above over there at the 50% of our G level. If it breaks to the downside, let me show that for you. If it breaks if it finds a resistance over here, it breaks below, and then if it loses also this level on of our G level 2.14, then I will expect XRP to go to chase those liquidities that is sitting right down over here. Actually, maybe I see take this one, make a small correction, and then go further down. But because, as Ali said before, it's a new month right now. All the contracts are closed. We have a new ones that is starting up, so probably we'll see the prices go higher and not right now further to the lowest prices. I always keep, let me go to the daily. What do I say? I always keep my trend lines over here. As you see, on the daily time frame, XRP has made a support over here in this G level at 2.14. We see a support over here and is trying to go to reclaim that 50%, and we will see what exactly how will react on this trend line. We have time until then, until the XRP reaches this trend line prices 2.45. Yeah, 2.45. But for now, we are acting between those two levels over here. At the point right now, let me go on the 90 minutes time frame. At the point right now, I'm not doing anything at the moment because I want to see, I want to have my confirmation, as I always says, what exactly we do. It will go above, make this as a support, and then go higher, or find the resistance over here, break below, make the retest, and go even lower. Give me a second, guys. Sorry, guys, for that.
No, it's all right. We have a waiting music. It's okay.
No, I'm at the office, and just American came inside. That's why.
That's all right. That's all right.
So, I just want to see what exactly we'll do. If it breaks this line above or below, then I will take my position on XRP. Now, I have charted also. I have SPX since Friday. I've charted SPX. When we have spoken about XPX?
No,
Friday.
every day.
I have it since, I don't remember. I have SPX over here. As you see, has respected this trend line over here, make it as a support, went to the 50% of the level, went a little bit to the downside, and now is trying to reclaim that 50% at 1.02. It seems strong. It wants to sit above that trend above that G level at the 50% over here. As you see on a 45 minutes time frame, we see that big candle over here and closes above this G level, the 50% over our G level. Seems that is building strength, and it wants to go higher. Let me draw this trend line over here and see. There you go. Now, we have for the first confirmation that it seems bullish because it is sitting above the 50%. If it breaks also this trend line over here, you have a second confirmation, then it's going for the highest levels over here. This one, the first, second one at 2.22 of our G level, way up there. That's why I'm talking always about the confirmation. We have the first one over here at G level, second from the trend line, and then we go even higher if it breaks that one. Over here we saw a small breakout to the low, but it managed to keep above that trend line and then went and claimed that 50% of our G level. I think Banner Bubbly asked me about the hype. I also have charted the hype and sent it to Discord. I think it was 3 o'clock in the morning. As we see over here, hype.
You don't sleep.
I just finished from the wedding, and then I went to my laptop and started charting.
You see, after work, after the wedding, he went for charts.
For chart, yeah.
Just for him to relax before he goes to bed. To cool off.
Exactly. So as we see over here, hype, what it's doing is bouncing up and down inside that range we have marked over here. Right now it's sitting above the 50%. Has made support on this 50%. Let's see if it has enough strength over here. Actually, seems like it has strength to break that range above. Make a small, a good support over here, and then go for that higher level that we have over here at $36. Then, as we see over here, we have that level over here has one resistance, second resistance, also way back over here, again resistant, and let's see if it breaks above. Make it as a support that level over here, and then go for the. Hey, come on, walk with me. And then let's see, hype start to claim those higher levels and go against the 39.9 that's sitting above that is level up there. And I think that's all from me for the moment.
Right.
If you have any other coin, so I can chart it, you can tell me.
Yeah, I mean, this is the right time that you can come up with any ideas, and if you want any tokens to be charted from us, this is the time. Give us a heads up with the token that you're interested, and we're gonna do our best to chart it for you, so you can see if your approach matches our approach, and that is like a confirmation that you do things the right way, so you're in a good track, so to say. You can do that with us. You can use this opportunity. Give me a few seconds, because right as we speak right now, I'm also creating events inside the Discord, because I want everyone to be aware of what are we going to do.
Okay.
So everyone to be organized, so to say, so they can do things if they want to come up. So they need to know the time, the correct time, so they can organize themselves. So we're going to have live trading twice in a week.
Why Thalys is telling about the events. If you have any other coins, you can see, you can tell me, you can write it down on the chat. Whatever you want. Banner Bubbly, as you see, hype is moving. It is sitting above the 50% of the range over here. If you want to trade this area over here, let me go to the 15 minute. As you see, is moving. You can trade that area from 50% until above the range. It's a 4.5%. It's a good one. You can do it with 10x and you go for a 40%. Now is your time, but also keep an eye on the higher level on the range, what exactly it will do. It have enough strength to go above, or it will find again a resistance and go again to the 50% of the range. Sorry, director.
Technically, yeah, no, it's all right. No, technically, it's in the range, so you need to be a little bit cautious. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. Right. Okay. Let me have a look. Quick look on in the chat. I don't want to miss any of your messages. Let me have a look. Live trading, yeah. Of course, yeah. Live trading is coming back. Hi everyone. Hello. Welcome back. Mike J said that Ethereum has been stronger than the most, so I'm gonna repost his message. Yes, it is true. Ethereum, it was overperforming Bitcoin, so it was a stronger mover. That's why I believe in Ethereum, that it's showing signs that is the turn of Ethereum right now, and we still have a little bit more time for for the alts. Now, this cycle, just to give it a little bit overview, okay, this cycle, I believe that the money allocation that people trade, if they trade, it's been a little bit too wide. They've been spread out too much, okay? And the reason is because you can see that out of the blue, you see so many projects pop up, okay? And especially in Solana, because Solana is very, very cheap to do so and very quick to do so. So yeah, be careful, okay? In general, where you're gonna trade, I like to stick to the big ones, the major ones, because they're not so easy to manipulate. It is not easy. It doesn't go that fast. It is not so easy with manipulation. You don't have very easy movements like spiking. Okay, it's not gonna go bananas in one go. So yeah, this is my 2 cents, so to say, about the crypto space. That is, this cycle we don't see a very steady move to the upside altogether, and that is because the people have spread out too much. Okay, they have spread out all the funds, so to say, the available funds left, right, center. Okay. Right. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everyone. So it was shorting but moving up. Yeah, it is true. Yeah, it did a little bit of correction right now, but in general it's moving to the upside. Right, and speaking of Ethereum, let's move a little bit to Pepe. So it's the main, let's say, big altcoin under ETH, right? So it's the meme coin. So you can see that we spoke about this one on a Friday, that perhaps we see here like head and shoulders, right? You can see that the middle one is higher than the other ones. So yes, you have a shoulder, a head, a shoulder, that's the neckline, and you broke that neckline and it's coming down for this imbalance. So if Ethereum is going to turn around now, so possibly this is where we found support on Ethereum and also on Pepe to turn around and push and start reclaiming. Okay, so it moved down by 22% average. Okay, that was, this is what I said a little bit earlier. Sorry, not yesterday. Earlier, that we could see that Bitcoin came down by 5%. Then the rest of them giving you a range from 10 to 20%. So yeah, Pepe gave you a 20% down move. AVAX, we can see that slowly is grinding. Okay, overall you can see that it's an uptrend. Okay, yes, it lost the 22. Okay, it lost our G level, the 22. It's coming down. Let's hope that it's going to find the support and then start reclaiming. Okay, however, we lost the G level. Okay, it took out liquidity, so let's see that, we knew that it was the end of the month. We knew that it was going to come down. Let's see where it's going to find support and move to the upside. Let me have a look a little bit on Tesla while Stelios is here. Stelios, you can see that it went very aggressive up of 351, found a rejection on 368 on our G level, right? And then it came down, and because it went fast above the 351, fast it came down. Okay, so let's hope that it's going to bounce from the 50% of the range. Okay, going down to 90 minutes, we had multiple opportunities to buy at low levels at the bottom of the range. Okay, now it's coming back inside the range, so let's hope that it's going to stay above the 50, which is again another bullish sign. It's going to find a support. It's the beginning of the month now as well for the stocks, so let's see if the stock of Elon Musk will go higher for Tesla. All right, let's have a look on Google. The same thing. It was towards the end of the month. It found rejection on 177, which is our G level, key level. Right, it's coming back. Found support on 169, reclaim, pushed up, and now we are in that level range. So if I clean a little bit of the chart here, so you have a range. So you need to see what Google is going to do. Right, it's going to reclaim or it's going to fall. Right, okay, that's it about Google. Let me have a very quick look on Render. Why? Because last week Render was on a high trading volume, so that was the area that we were paying attention. What did we say? We said that Render, yes, it has a high trading volume, but it comes from a downtrend. Okay, so that was the focus area, and you can see that it broke it resistance, and then it's coming down. And look where it found support. It found support on our next G level, right? So zoom out a little bit, and you can see that it was rejected on $3.70. Okay, there it is on a 90 minute. And what do we see on the 90 minute? For the time being, we see a range. Okay, so here's a range here. That's your range. So now this is your new focus point. Let me clear that one. We don't need it anymore. So that's your focus point. You come down to 15 minutes. So you have two ways of playing this. Okay, either you're going to wait for the bottom of the range to come back to the bottom of the range. If it doesn't, because we can see now that we broke the 50%, if we find support of the 50%, that is a good cheeky entry. Or you can play the breakout. Okay, entry and validation, very tight. You can have two validation points. Okay, if you enter because of the breakout of the range, you want your validation to be the top of the range. Okay, your entry, your validation, very tight to each other. If you want to have a lower leverage, and let's say that you're trying to survive, then you can have your validation levels under the range. If you want to be too brave, then you can have your validation point under the G level. Okay, but remember, the target, the smart thing for you to enter, right, is at the lowest level of the range. If that happens on your timing, okay, if that doesn't happen for XYZ reason, okay, because it touched the bottom of the range and then start moving, then you need to find next key level, which is the 50% of the range and outside the top of the range. Okay, aka you need to find a support before you enter long. Okay, the lower you are on the range and closer your validation point, this is a key validation point. The next key validation point is here, so that means you are very closer. Okay, so your risk is minimum. That means you can have a higher leverage. If you go entry all the way up there, okay, that means you're risking more. So technically you're going to get pushed to have lower leverage, okay, in order for you not to over risk your maximum capital. All right, so that's about Render. Render. Say that again.
When you finish, I have Tau for Mike.
Right, cool, nice. So we can see that Render was consolidating, then it's coming down, right, in the downtrend. Now we are in consolidation, so let's hope that we're going to see a reversal start printing to the upside. Okay, so Render technically found a resistance of $3, right? So let's have a look on Rune. Same story with Rune. Rune was in the downtrend. There it is. You got a double top there. Okay, just above our range. It means it could not have any steam to continue. It lost the G level. It was coming down. Then a small rally up, consolidation, and then boom, continuation to the downside. That's why I say consolidation is part of the previous wave. So that was a downtrend. Pause and then continue to the downside. Now we have another parallel channel. You need to watch out what's going to happen. you may get a reversal or you may get a continuation. If you get a continuation, here's your next support. Okay, the next support for Rune is going to be $1.44 or 45. Okay, otherwise, okay, we may see a return to the upside. However, around these levels, and I'm doing this by eye, I see around these levels it's going to be around the 50% of the range. So let me see if I correctly see these. So there it is, right? So around this area is your 50%. So if that price, I mean, let me correct this that a little bit and bring it a bit lower. So here's a 50%. Okay, so if the price is going to come up, you need to see what's going to happen with that 50% of the range. Okay, so you have a G level here, a G level here, so that's the 50%. So you need to see how that price action is going to react in these regions. If you're going to see a claim and find support, then you can have a cheeky entry and go all the way up. Otherwise, if you see a rejection, right, failing to claim this level, then you go short and target $1.44. Okay, that is about Rune. Let me have a very quick look on virtual. Virtual still correcting, okay, but overall, look at that. Virtual is looking very, very bullish. It's on an uptrend. Okay, different story here. It's an uptrend. This is the bottom of the range. So let's see if we can find a support. It looks like maybe it found a support on $1.88. And why is that? Because since it broke that G level, it reclaimed very quickly, right? And then it came back and found support here and never went lower. So it's giving you right now a squeezy triangle. Okay, it's getting squashed. This is a high, this is a low high, this is a low, this is a higher low. Technically, this is going to be your next second higher low, and that is going to be your cheeky entry, and you're trying to break through. Okay, cheeky entry, and then if you break the previous highs, that is going to be a better support above $2.18, which is going to be the 50% of the range between 277 and 159. 218 is your 50%, a significant level. If you find support, that is going to be a solid entry. Here is going to be a cheeky entry, okay, which is going to be walkout short term, or maybe not walkout at all. Okay, so that is about Rune. Have a look a little bit on Link. Link finally broke our trend line. You can see here we spoke about these highs. It got rejected, came back, it went under $17. It got rejected. That was a bad sign. It's coming down, and then it broke, and you see when it found support once again at $14. So let's hope that it's going to find support and then reclaim. Okay, so far we're still correcting on Link. Found support here. The question is this going to be a resistance or is it going to be a support? So this is the area that we need to pay attention today. This is the 12 hours. Let's go down to 90 minutes. Here's your range. So this is your focus area. Okay, this is the top of the range. This is the bottom of the range. This is the area that you need to pay attention. There it is. I can flex it a bit lower over here. So that's going to be good. Go down to 15 and there you have it. Okay, here's your focus area, and you can apply these safely if you want the breakout. Okay, which means either you're going to enter long here or you're going to get a short continuation from the previous move. Okay, that is it about the alts. You have ready Tau, so we're going to move straight away to Tau. Start with the 12 hours and walk your way down, because it's been a long time we haven't seen Tau. So here's Tau. Here's your screen.
Oh, perfect. I have Tau here. I have marked everything on the daily time frame actually, because
Nice.
that is my starting point.
Yep, 12 hours
you
is where your key levels for for imbalances.
exactly, and you're right, because we haven't seen long time for now for Tau.
Yep.
And Mike is trading Tau as I saw on the chat over here.
Right. Okay.
Because Mike asked it for Tau. So Mike, as you see, we have an imbalance over here that I have marked on the daily time frame. We always say that in a higher time frame we see those imbalances and mark them, and then we go to the lowest 12 hours, 4 hours, and 90 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
Right
guys,
now,
it's just a reminder for you. Always remember, it's a key thing that you need to remember that the price action always goes from liquidity to liquidity, and if there is an imbalance in between these two liquidities, it's going to go after it. This is how the markets are driven. Okay, this is the key concept. That's why John always is looking for these imbalances, because he knows that imbalance is acting like a magnet. So sooner or later that price is going to hit that imbalance, and if you are very patient with yourself and with the charts, you're going to see that the price action is going to go after these imbalances, and John knows this. That's why he's going back to the daily, because daily is the, let's say, the most correct time frame for you to see imbalances. Okay, so on to the point. He's going for the imbalances. He marked it.
exactly. And as you see right now, as we always see, is ranging above that 50% of our G levels over here at 401. That is sitting above that G level. Went straight back to the down for a moment and then claim it again, and now is sitting above that 50%. I have also marked those ranges because, as you see, it was on the range way back here, broke up, claimed that 50% of our G level, and then was sitting all the way above. But now over here, we can say, actually went to and make that move over here to chase some full liquidities and burn longers, if I can say that. Was πώς θα πούμε πονηρή κίνηση?
Yeah, it was a tricky move because he was going after liquidity. Yeah.
Okay. So right now, what do we see? Let me lose that mark over here. Right now, what we see, it's sitting above this range, above the 50% of our G level, and inside this range over here. As you see, I have drawn also my trend line. We have one touch over here as a support, the previous range, act as a support, claim that level, and now is sitting above that level. And if I go on the 90 minutes time frame, you see over here we have some spikes that didn't have enough strength to stay also above that 50% of the new range that is on the up here. But now he's trying to see is acting as a support, this G level, and now he's trying to reclaim it and go again to the upside. For the moment, what I can say, I have my imbalance over here, but what do I know that is chasing this imbalance over here? We will see some tricky moves. Maybe it loses that 50%, go to the trend line and make this trend line as support, reclaim that 50%, and then go for the imbalance. You know, the market, what exactly, actually the market makers, what exactly they do, they try to swipe the liquidities. That's why we have marked our ranges, our G levels, the imbalances for the more confirmation, and then we take our position. The good news now that we have too many supports over here above that 50%. So we can have our entry over here at 50% and then try to make to take actually this movement that is that range over here that is at 18.74 47, sorry, 47, one move, and then we'll see if it keeps and break, also claim that 490 G level and go for the imbalance. And for now, you have your support over here, you have your first confirmation. You can trade from here to the 50%, At the 50%, you can have the 70% of your capital off, leave the rest of the 30, and then you, if you have the second confirmation that also has enough strength and sitting above that range, you know that it's chasing for the imbalance, you can πώς θα πω, να ξαναβάλω κεφάλαιο.
You can add more.
You can add more and then go for that imbalance. And sure, you will see some resistance on this imbalance. If you take this imbalance, all of it, you will see some resistance. Go to the RG level over here, make it a support, and then go after for more and the higher prices and higher liquidities. Because if you see all this, we said that look to the left. To the left, you have more over here. You have another one. You have your points. You have your G levels. They're working great. They are awesome. Also, G levels works as a range. You can have your range over here. Between those levels, it is. So look to the left. Look at the liquidity where it is. You have your marks. That's the next one. The next how you can say that, next target, and that's all I think for Tao.
Right. Okay.
I think I have said all. I don't see actually something else, but also you have also on your trend line, because what you see, that is, come on.
Yeah, I mean, right. Yeah, that trend line is a little bit weak because he only has 2 touches. So
actually one for now. Only one has.
Is the beginning. I mean, you have the starting point.
And one.
Yeah, you have the starting point and the second point. So it's only 2 touches. So yeah.
It's a little bit weak, yeah, exactly. But if it has another touch, then it's getting stronger. But also, yeah. I will say about confirmation.
I mean, the previous trend line is broken, so because it's in range, guys. I mean, remember, when you have a chart ranging, okay, there is a high possibility that that trend is broken, okay? However, the range will give you a better understanding because you need to play the breakout of the range and see, you know, how that price action is going to react to that range, okay? So that's why I prefer horizontals over diagonals. But that doesn't mean that they're not good. They are good, the trend lines, as long as they carry data and you know, long-term data. Anything above 3 weeks is perfect. Okay, 3 weeks, and make sure that you have multiple touches. Okay, 1 or 2 touches not good. You need minimum 3 touches, 3 points on the trend line that the price is touching that trend line. Minimum 3 points, and anything above 3 weeks is super. I'm not gonna say accurate, but it's solid. Okay, it's gonna give you a benefit. It has benefits. And it's gonna help you.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. That's it. I
hope I helped.
Yeah. No, you did fine. I hope you're all good. All right. Okay, guys. I mean, that's it for today. I don't want to keep you very long. It's already. How long have we been here? We've been here more than an hour, so that's good. Just above an hour. So we're gonna keep it nice and clean. That's it, guys. You got the mains, you got the like the majors, you got the alts. We've seen Hype and Tau as well, as you requested. The rest is gonna be on the Discord. Live trading, live trade hunting is gonna take place this Tuesday and Thursday. It's on the events. Okay, the link is going to be provided on the day, just a few minutes before. And that's it for the time being, guys, ladies and gentlemen. If you got any other questions, be free to ask on the Discord. Make sure you tag me so I can see the questions. I'll be on and off the computer these days. But yeah, we'll be around. So that's it for today. Always remember that every day is a good day. Every day is a good day. I said that
Every day it's a good day.
every day is a good day. Okay, every day. And take action and then analyze and then adjust. Okay, that's the new order of doing things. And I think we're going to see better days. As I said, before any conference, Bitcoin conference, especially Bitcoin conference in the US, but any big conference of Bitcoin, you can see that the price action is moving to the upside while the conference is taking place, kind of consolidating, and then by towards the end of the conference, after the end of the conference, it's going to be a little bit hype, a little bit hopium. It's going to, all the gurus are going to go out there, post the interviews and the conversations, and that will create a little bit of hype. But usually, this is where everybody buys in because of the information that gets out. But usually, on the end of the conference, price is going down, and we did say that before the conference started. So I'm glad that these, once again, we got, let's say, we got this right. Okay. Also, it was combined that it was towards the end of the month as well. Another big event for the charts. So patience, right? Don't panic, don't FOMO, don't listen to anyone. Stay as possible, as unbiased as possible you can, and let the charts talk to you. Remember what usually happens back in history, how the price action is acting on various events for you to reverse engineer, right? Don't listen to the news. Oh, we said this and that to the in the conference. You do know that after the conference, the price is going to come down. So you're going to reverse engineer that despite what they've said, all the good stuff that they said inside the Bitcoin conference, we do believe, but that is not going to influence the price. Okay, we know from history what happens after the conference. So as expected, this is what happened, and now it's a new month, a new day. Every day is a good day, and you can see that the price action is moving. And we spoke about this one. They said this is a cheeky entry, a lower high, and it's going to get confirmed when and if it's going to break that structure and reclaim our G level, which is 105.8. Okay, so keep your levels on the charts. Once you do the TA once, you don't need to redo it. This is the good strategy that we have in the CIA. It is not a TA that you have to redraw everything every day. No, you just extend the lines and you just go with the same system, level by level. Remember, trading, it is not about TA. TA is for you to prepare the surface. Okay, trading is for you to make the right decision on the right timing. Okay, that is trading. And that's it for us today. Right, today it's Monday. Every day is a good day. Κάθε μέρα είναι καλή μέρα. So that's why we say καλημέρα. So patience, yes, it is a key. Always be patient. If you feel that you have an anxiety, just close the screens and walk out of the screens. Leave the trade open. You have your stop loss and your validations in place, so you should be good to go. Do not worry. Don't overthink about it. If you need to take action, which means get into the trade, okay, then analyze how that trade is going. And then if you need to adjust, then you can adjust, which means you can increase your position, you can increase the leverage, you can update the stop loss. This is adjustments, okay, which comes after entering. If you want to, if you stuck yourself into paper trading and trying to plan it and you don't take action, you don't get full engaged, and that is not going to help you improve. Okay, I know that a lot of people say paper trade and back test this and back test that. You're losing time. Okay, it's more beneficial to you to enter the trade with a smaller amount. If you're not sure what you're doing, get in with $5. That is not going to harm you. Okay, and then trying to analyze what was your entry compared to the price action. Let the price action move, let the trade, the day go by, and let that chart print and see how you were doing, and then you can adjust. Okay, that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. Apologize for the little noise on the background. I'll speak to you very, very soon. I'll see you tomorrow. John, are you going to be with us tomorrow?
Of course.
Of course. Okay.
Of course I will.
Right. So
have a great day to all of you.
Have a great day.
We'll speak again tomorrow.
We're gonna we're gonna see each other tomorrow. Any questions you have, throw them on the chat, on the Discord, especially on the Discord. Tag me or tag John, and then we're gonna come back to you. Okay, we're gonna leave you with some music. Get the vibes up, get in the mood, enjoy the rest of the day. Stelio, enjoy the rest of the night. I know that it's evening over there. For our lovely people in the US and Canada, have a good sleep, and we'll speak tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day, a new page, and guess what? It's going to be another good day.
Exactly.
See you later, guys. Bye bye.